There's something in your brain that literally shuts you down. Do you know what the scariest part about the death is? Not that you die, but that you might not realize you're dying. I'm about to ask you a question, and I want you to answer honestly, at least to yourself. Have you gotten dumber over the last 5 years? Let me explain. Is it harder for you to focus? Do you open the fridge and forget why you went there? Do you read a paragraph and immediately forget what it said? Do you start a sentence and lose the thought halfway through? There's something in your brain that literally switches you off. Here is the fact that completely changed how I see the reality. From 1932 onward, human IQ was steadily rising. Every generation was smarter than the one before it. This was called the Flynn effect. Scientists celebrated humanity was evolving, getting smarter. And then in the 1990s, the graph flipped. IQ started to fall, slowly at first, then faster. In Norway, 730,000 people were tested, down 7 IQ points in a single generation. In Denmark, 500,000 tests showed the same thing. Finland, France, the UK, the United States, everywhere the same picture. Humanity is getting dumber. American school children today score worse in math and reading than at any point in testing history. Not because the curriculum got harder, but because their brains are functioning worse. Each new generation is less cognitively capable than the previous one. And now, the most interesting part. Do you know what else began in the 1990s? The explosive growth of plastic production. The graphs line up perfectly. More plastic, lower IQ. Scientists have discovered that in every gram of your brain tissue, there are about 5,000 micrograms of plastic. Add it up across the whole brain, and you're carrying an entire plastic spoon inside your head, about 7 grams. And that spoon isn't just sitting there, it's electrically charged, electrostatically, and it disrupts the connections between the neurons. See the trap? Plastic primarily attacks the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for critical thinking, logic, analysis. In other words, it destroys the very system that should recognize the danger and figure out how to stop it. It's the perfect crime, a killer that first disables the victim's ability to understand they're being killed. Plastic accumulates in amygdala, the center of fear and aggression, strengthening those pathways. At the same time, it degrades the prefrontal cortex, the center of self control. The result? You become impulsive, anxious, driven by instincts instead of reason. And the most terrifying part about this, you don't notice it because the parts of your brain that should notice are already compromised. That's why the world feels like it's going insane. That's why people believe obvious nonsense. And here's what truly scares me. We may have about 10 years to find the solution. Scientists know the direction. We need to neutralize the plastic's electrostatic charge. That's physically possible, but it requires entire scientific world to work together. Not like now, when researchers hide in isolated labs, designing new weapons to use against people like themselves. That's why I'm recording this video while I still can think clearly. Because in 5 years, I might not be able to. I'll just be scrolling endlessly, eating fast food, arguing in comment sections, and thinking I'm fine without realizing that my brain is already dead. Here's the title of the film